Alright, everything on this video falls under fair use, so please shut the fuck up. No names were mentioned. Yada fucking yada fucking yada. Okay, we good? Thank you. Alright. Having partaken of the libations of the weekend, in other words, 2 cups of Irish coffee this morning during my stream, I am going to say that I'm about to stick my dick in the proverbial hornet's nest. Now, as it were, I was browsing around on Twitter. I know, not the healthiest thing to be doing. And I genuinely enjoy shitposting, but I came across a conversation that popped up in my timeline, and I will throw it up here. I've blocked out all names and all the names and accounts of the relevant parties, so please don't ask. I'm not telling. Please don't, and God forbid, if you do happen to see this and you know who this is, don't go harassing them. But basically, this person was harassing somebody over the fact they were using AI art. Now, long story short, they basically said that they weren't willing, that they were cheating artists out of money, and then proceeded to block this person, and this person basically called them out on it. So, yeah. That was a real interesting read. And look, I've used AI art generation. It's fun to play with. In fact, here, I'll throw up some of the examples. And they've, for the most part, turned out pretty damn nice. Now, granted, some of them are a little wonky looking, like these right here. Now, I can fully understand where that charming individual is coming from. Not. But at the same time, I can also understand why people aren't willing to drop potentially thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on custom artwork. Not all of us have that kind of money lying around. Myself, I make, well, I'm not going to tell you what I make, but I don't make great money as a factory worker. I make good money, but even I don't have that much left by the end of the month because I have bills and groceries and everything else coming out. And usually I wind up just, aside from a few small purchases here and there, holding on to what's left of my paycheck until I absolutely need it. Now, do I have a problem with commissioning? Not really. Yeah, well, I kind of do, but I'll be getting into that in a moment. But this hat that I'm wearing right now, I actually commissioned that. Took some of the extra money I had and commissioned it to basically save myself some time. Right. Now, I could have probably made this. It probably wouldn't look as good. And it probably would have taken me a lot longer. But it was just easier for me to pay somebody and have it done in a couple of weeks. I know how long this takes, and I know that person had a life outside of 3D modeling. But they got it done a hell of a lot faster than I did. Or I would have, I should say. But at the same time, I am very hesitant to commission people because I know that for every person that actually is capable of delivering on their promises, again, seat of my hat, there's probably at least 10 that are either straight up hacks or looking to scam you out of your money. So I can kind of understand that. Like, hacks that are trying to pass off what essentially is a coloring book out of a children's, well, or a coloring page out of a children's book is, well, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that overinflated $200-300 you want, and I know I'm going to get bitched at for not seeing your vision, quote unfucking quote, but no, I'm not going to pay for shitty art. And at the same time, there's no guarantee that what I'm going to get is what I paid for. And I know it's not everybody. I know that it's the scammers and the hacks that give a lot of the artists who do commissions a bad reputation unless they have been in the business for a while. but it doesn't justify actively attacking people. Now, do I use Midjourney AI? Again, as stated, I do, and I have fun with it. Could I use it commercially? Believe it or not, if you have a paid subscription, you are allowed to legally use it. I'm going to have to go through and reread the terms of service, but you are legally allowed to use it as long as you credit Midjourney. I know there's a few other things. I think if you make so much or make so much from it, you have to get them royalties, but other than that, yeah, you're free to use it as art for whatever commercial project you have. Now, could this potentially drive good artists out of the business? Yes. And I get that. I fully do. Look, I work in a factory, okay? I make trash bags for a living. And there's been times I have straight up, when the boss is bitching at us about something, I want to straight up tell them that if you want good, consistent workers, you need to replace this all with machines, have them pack and tape the boxes and all that, and just keep a few people down for quality check or around for quality checks and maintenance. But there's always that niggling thought in the back of my head telling me that you need to shut the fuck up. And because they might just do it. I have to fight most of the time just to keep my mouth from getting ahead of me, because if I said half of what I wanted to say, I wouldn't have a job right now. But anyways, so do I think that generated AI is bad? Well, it depends on the context. Like, I could see somebody basically taking a book, filling it full of generated images, and saying, "Ha ha ha, this is mine." Yeah, I could actually see that, because technically it is yours, because you put the keywords in, you put the description in. And look, I can't draw worth a damn these days, but I can at least halfway decently write. So yeah, you could probably put, like, if I wanted to, I could say, okay, I put the input in, I put all those descriptions in, this wonderful flowing, almost, I don't know, R.R. Martin Game of Thrones style language in, and had the AI generate it. So yes, I could technically claim it, at least through wordsmithing, mine. But did I draw it? No. And if you were to ask me to draw it, I would basically be called out as a hack almost immediately, because, well, I couldn't draw it. Now, I could also see at the same time, let's say for a moment there's someone who has been asked to come up with images. They are a really good artist, but they might decide to take a couple of shortcuts, which, again, this is probably one of those legally gray areas, or morally gray areas, not necessarily legally gray, but they could include some of their own artwork and some of the AIs. And it'd be one thing if you pass it off, marked which ones were yours and which ones were AI generated, but at the same time, it's a mess, okay? The point I'm trying to get at, just leave people alone. The computers aren't going to take your jobs. You're not going to... There's always going to be a place for human art, because for all the things that or for as well as it turns out, or as well as some of this AI artist turned out, it lacks one fundamental thing. You know what that is? The human element. There's a certain something missing from AI art, and there always will be. That passion, that drive, emotion. That is what will always be missing and can never be fully replaced. And another thing, get the fuck along, okay? Please get the fuck along. Stop attacking people because they don't feel like dropping the thousands of dollars it would take to commission your sorry ass to do a crown book coloring. Okay, anyways. Thank you for listening to me ramble for a little bit. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.